Paranormal in Pennsylvania may discuss topics such as suicide, murder, and other potentially upsetting things. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to Paranormal in Pennsylvania,
where we discuss history and haunts.
Today's story takes us to a cemetery in Philadelphia. I'm Sarah.
And I'm David.
Let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about Christ Church burial grounds, and we went here on our Philadelphia ghost hunting day with Pip's social media manager, Hannah. She also has her own spooky podcast called Horror Hour with the Hannahs, so check that out. And it ended up pouring rain while we were here, which felt very on brand for us to be in a cemetery with an EMF reader and pouring rain.
Yeah, although it was the rain really helped in terms of like how hot it was, really cooled it down. So there were positives that came out of it, and we also didn't get too wet because there's some beautiful old trees in the cemetery that we were able to take cover underneath. Yeah,
that's true. And we were careful not to stand on anybody's grave.
Yes, we were able to stay on the path.
Yeah. So some history. Christ Church burial grounds consists of 1,400 markers with over 4,000 members of the church buried there. So to do some quick math, that means that around 2,600 people buried there don't have markers. And it sits on 2 acres in Philadelphia, so that's huge. It's right near Christ Church, as the name would imply, and the church was founded in 1695 and is the oldest Episcopal church in Philadelphia. They have many noteworthy people buried here, most notably being Benjamin Franklin. I think that's the reason that most people go there. There are also 4 other signers of the Declaration of Independence buried there, and the burial grounds were established in 1719, but that's just the official date because congregation members were buried in the churchyard well before that. Specifically, many people are buried here that died in the late 1700s from the yellow fever epidemic that struck Philadelphia.
Hey, I know about that from another podcast recording we've done.
Mm-hmm. It was interesting to do everything in Philadelphia in one day. It was a long day, but there are so many parallels and connections that I think it was really interesting to do it all at once.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. It, like you said, it did all connect very well and made it far more meaningful of an adventure.
Yeah. So the burial grounds were actually closed to the public from 1977 to 2003 for major renovation. And when we were there, you had a big issue with the maintenance of the headstones.
I did. Still do.
You actually inquired with the workers about it. So I'll let you tell that story. But before, I'll lead into it by saying there is a charge to enter these grounds. And per their website, it is used to tend to overgrown plants, remove ivy, prune trees, and maintain paths.
I see.
Go ahead.
I still have an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, share your beef.
So how much was it to get in?
I think it was $5 a person.
Was it 5 or 8?
I think 8, maybe, now that you say that.
So $8 to get in, and some of the headstones are clearly very well, taken care of. The Declaration signers are all very well managed. And then a few other noteworthy people that clearly, they wash the headstones very regularly, but all the others are left totally untouched. And it kind of feels, somewhat disrespectful to me that you're profiting so much off of all these graves and you can't tend to them at all.
Right. It's not only Benjamin Franklin that's important because he's important in American history. Everyone is important that's buried there, Right. Because you have to have respect for everyone.
Right. So it just feels like they're not really tending to any of the, I guess, quote unquote, not important people.
Right.
But it was also interesting that in my inquiry, I was also notified that some of the headstones that look very, very tiny are indeed actually not tiny at all, but have sunken into the ground. Apologies if I'm now stealing your thunder.
No, I'm happy you said that because I think it is spooky in a way.
Yeah, it is kind of spooky that they sunk into the ground.
Because is it due to shifting soil or is it because the bodies are decomposing?
I think it's just soil and that the headstones are heavy.
I'm going to choose the decomposition route because I think it's spookier.
Okay.
I don't know which is right. It could be both.
Sure. Yes. I could
So
be wrong.
now to get into the actual spooky stuff, the ghost stories. And I will say, if you love Benjamin Franklin, this is the episode for you. Because a lot of these are things that he does. So the most common story is that people go and put a penny on his grave out of respect because he has that famous saying, a penny saved is a penny earned, which is actually apparently not the real wording of it. That's just how we say it now. It's something like a 2 pence is worth blah, 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 because that's how they spoke back then. They wouldn't have said a penny.
Right.
But I think many people are familiar with the saying, penny saved is a penny earned. So people will go there and put pennies on his grave. And if he's feeling like you aren't respecting him or just angry in general, he will throw the penny back at you. And initially, we just set our pennies down. We tried to be respectful. But Hannah decided she wanted to really test this and see if she could be, quote, disrespectful. And so she tossed it, because you don't actually want to be disrespectful to someone's grave, but she lobbed it on to see if it would bounce back in a weird way, and it was not thrown back. We didn't experience anything.
No, but something that was really interesting about his grave was, there's a lot of pennies, but what was also really cool was the foreign currency that was on it.
Yeah.
There were multiple foreign coins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and try to say that I remember exactly what countries and such they were from, but they were definitely, not U.S. coin base there.
Right, which is interesting because 2 pence is still a currency in England, right?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't know. But I wonder if it would be more effective if you actually had British money.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe then he wouldn't throw it back at you. Maybe he's throwing it back because it's a penny.
Yeah, I don't know. British pound, also sometimes called a quid. I don't know.
I don't know much about British money. So that is not where the Benjamin Franklin hauntings stop. It said that he will also steal your pocket change. And people report this specifically when they walk past his grave, which I think is such an ironic thing, because he has so much money on his grave and he's still out here stealing pocket change. And I didn't know that this happened, so I didn't pay attention to how much money I had. I don't think anything was missing, but Hannah did know how much she had in her wallet, and she said that there was indeed nothing missing, even though she had, quote, disrespected him.
Well, I enjoy the spooky story. Probably what more likely happened to people was they've been pickpocketed around that area.
Yeah, that's likely. You might think that's the end of Benjamin Franklin's stories.
No, keep it coming.
It's not. So there are still more hauntings there attributed to Ben Franklin. And again, I think it's because he's one of the biggest names in the cemetery. So this one is so funny. Apparently, he pinches people's butts as they walk past his grave.
People? Like peoples? Or like women? Because he was known to be quite the...
He was known to be a womanizer, but it says that it's pretty equal opportunity pinching.
Huh.
And I tried to find how this was linked to his actual life, but I could not find anything. But apparently he was quite a trickster in life, and so people have said maybe that's the source of this behavior. He just likes to mess with people.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the end of the Ben Franklin stories. But there are still more hauntings.
Did your butt get pinched?
I don't know. I don't think so. I wasn't paying attention, but I feel like I would have felt it. Did yours?
No, mine did not get pinched.
And I feel like Hannah would have told us. So, there are reports of people seeing shadow figures in the graveyard, mostly around sunset. And we were there around 4 o'clock, and it got dark with the rain, but we didn't see anything in terms of shadow figures. There are also reports of people seeing ghosts that people believe are historical reenactors, which is actually a pretty common theme for these historical sites. It's like the apparitions dressed in the clothes of their day, that because it's a historical site, people are attributing to reenactors when it's actually a ghost.
That makes sense, but they really should get with the times,
And wear, leggings and crop tops?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. People report the sound of crying even when they're alone or not near other people. And this has been attributed to the ghost of past mourners that are still there mourning their dead. And I personally think that's such a sad sentiment. It's like almost like they think that they're living and their loved ones are the only ones that are dead, or that their loved ones are like more dead than them, so they're still sad.
Oh, that's interesting. Like, for instance, their loved ones have moved on and they're stuck still.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess that's how you get quote unquote more dead.
Yeah.
If you're stuck kind of in the metaphysical, then your family moves on.
Yeah. Or if they don't realize that they're dead.
That too.
Yeah. Another auditory haunting is the sound of whispers. And some think that it's the spirit of the signers of the Declaration of Independence conspiring together. So
that one's way cooler.
I know, I think it's really cool. Other people think it's just echoes of previous conversations there, because think about it. If dating back to the 1600s, people were buried here, there have been so many mourners.
Yes, a lot of mourners. I guess, yeah, that's a really sad take, but...
I prefer the Declaration of Independence version.
Yeah, Declaration of Independence, more fun.
Yeah.
Less spook, more fun.
The whispers are Nicolas Cage stealing the Declaration of Independence.
Perfect. Love it. That is full send. Yes.
No. So when we were there, it was, 4 p.m., like I said. It was right when they were closing. There was a ton of people there. I don't think we would have had a chance to really hear whispers. There was so much sound. If you add on the rain.
Oh, yeah, we were not going to hear any whispers. But also there was an active tour happening as well.
Right.
There are opportunities to hear whispers. And if we did, we definitely would have assumed it's just the people that were there touring or walking around on their own.
Yeah, I think to hear those whispers, you'd probably have to go on a ghost tour or walk past it at night.
Right, but even then on a ghost tour, you're not going to be the only people.
Right.
So that'd be difficult.
Yeah.
Unless you buy out the whole ghost tour and just go by yourselves.
That's actually a power move. That's a great idea. We could use that in the future. It might upset the company, but good thought. And so we did take the EMF reader around, and we didn't get anything above a 1. I think maybe we got a 2 once, but nothing significant. And we did not have any paranormal experiences here. No stolen change, no thrown change, no butt pinching.
No conspirators.
They don't want us to help steal the Declaration. Or to help write it.
Well, because they have to be quiet, otherwise Nick Cage will hear, and you'll be able to get it.
Nick Cage is watching you. Okay. Unhinged episode. So, to answer the question, would you go to this place of paranormal phenomena? I would go back for a ghost hunt, because I think that'd be really interesting. Maybe a ghost tour. But other than that, I wouldn't go back, because I just see no need to visit it again as a historic site.
I'd go visit again if they cleaned up all the headstones that have been neglected.
Just to see the other names and stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think here the hauntings are pretty benign. Ben Franklin messing with people, shadow figures, and some auditory hauntings. It doesn't seem like anything really bad happens.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I would definitely go back for a ghost tour as well.
Yeah. Or a ghost hunt.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Paranormal in Pennsylvania, where we covered Christ Church burial grounds. Tune in next Thursday to see what hauntings and history we discuss next.
Spooky!